Thank you for joining my live. Hey, Don. So, tonight, I didn't share the live with nobody. I wanted to see how many people come in on their own, or however they get alerted or notified or whatever. Because usually I share the live with like 45 people, and then I start the live and get it cracking. Hey, Don. But tonight, I said, you know what? I ain't finna share it live with nobody. Just to test it out, see what happens. You feel me? What's up with y'all? How's everybody doing? Me, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I was bored. Hey, baby Yen. Thank you for loving to see me online. And I figured I'd just come through and hang out. See what everybody's up to on this Friday night. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see. What the hell? Don, you say you're feeling down tonight? Shit. Like Tupac said, after every dark night, there's a brighter day. You feel me? Sasha sitting here smoking. Sasha said, sitting here smoking on TikTok, LOL. Yeah, that's what's up. Baby Yen said, the first I saw you in TikTok, I thought that you are Filipino. Nah, I'm Vietnamese. Christine said, hi from Philly. Working tonight. That's what's up. That's what's up. Stay on your grind. Love someone said, I like your hair pulled up. Thank you. Lavender Flower said, yes, I am. You gotta keep your head up, champ. You heard me? Reno said, Fang bang. Good looking out with the lightning bolt, fam. I appreciate you. Reno said, nice to know that you really had God with you, bro. Thank you. That's what's up. I think the Fang Bang says stay blessed, bro. You too, fam. I think the greatest gift you give anyone is a relationship with Christ. You feel me? Period. After that, they be alright. You feel me? Mary Decker said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm chilling. Reno said, here too. Christine said, always on the grind. Working from home has its perks, LOL. That's what's up. Nikki said, what time is it where you are? It's 8:30 right now. Nikki, what time is it where you at? Aren't you in like Connecticut? So it's 11:30 over there right now. BBG said, Danny, have you tried laying down in your car yet? Yeah, but not fully with my feet off the edge. I still gotta put like something right there and like then put like a blanket on top, and that's where my feet will go. But I was thinking just a little bit ago, I was thinking one day I should just go drive somewhere with me and Sosa and just sleep in my car for the night and go live too wherever I'm at and just sleep in my car for the night just like I would be on the road. You know what I mean? Just to get a feel for it, see what it feels. You feel me? Stan, thank you for the heart hand. I appreciate you. So just go basically do a test run. I'm gonna do that soon because I want Sosa to get used to it too. Because I know when he go back in the car, he be like, damn, this thing changed. Bang, bang, thank you for the finger heart, fam. But the good thing is, at least the bed and stuff like that smells familiar to him. Thank you for the hand heart, April. Yes, had many experiences with many spirits. Huh? Yeah, what does that mean? Last one says, keep it real, Danny. All the time. Really? Nikki said, yeah, it's 11:30. Meet me at 11:30. Let me talking dirty to me, so hey. Hey, what's up, Sin? Crystal said, are you Latino? Nah, I'm Vietnamese. Bang Bang said, get 6 years in joint. Your videos are inspiring, brother. Keep it up. Yeah. That's what's up, fam. That's what I like to hear right there, boy. That's what I like to hear right there. I hit you with a follow one time for the one time. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah. Chef Andrew made it. I ain't never seen the 5T's placement in the neck, bro. That shit dope. You talking about the 5T's, huh? No more no time it is. Love someone says God is good, Daddy. All the time, love someone. Nikki said, I've never been camping. I'd rather sleep in a car over a tent, though. For sure. You feel me? Yeah. Me too. I remember when I was hella young. I was like 12 years old, right? My homie, he said I could sleep in his backyard in a tent. And I never slept in a tent before, so I thought, like, hell yeah, it's just gonna be dope. I'm just gonna go in there, go sleep. It's just gonna be all the way good, right? And this was during the summertime. Man, I remember I woke up the next day inside that tent. I was burning up. I was sweaty. I was hot. You couldn't breathe. I woke up like, what the hell is going on? I felt like I was in a sauna. And that's like the only experience I ever really had of a tent. You know what I'm saying? But I still wouldn't mind camping in a tent one time for the one time. You feel me? Don said, do you have a harness for Sosa? Yeah. I got a body vest for him and a leash that pulls out when he goes and shit. Yeah. BBG said yes. Test run with the curtains and all. Please go live too. For sure. I'll for sure do that. Like I'll for sure go live because that's part of the journey. You feel me? If I do it, no, I'm not. If I'm going to do it. So when I do it, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna cook in there, just like I would if I was at home. I'm gonna brush my teeth in the car, all that shit in the car. You know what I mean? And then go live till I get tired and go to sleep. And wake up the next day, brush my teeth, whatever. Just like see what it feels like to do all that in the car. Shit, I remember when I was in the pen. I was in this one cell. Man, I swear, I don't know what it was going on at this time. I don't know if I was cursed, if I had bad luck or what. But I was in cell 101 in the building, right? And cell 101, it's the cell where the outer wall on this side and on this side is all touching the outside. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So the wind and the cold is touching your cell on two sides of the wall. But if you're in any other cell, it's only touching it for the back. You feel me? But because you're in cell 101, it's a corner cell. So the corner cell gets touched by the elements on two walls. So that cell is even colder than your average cell. Cell 101, 201, cell 150, and 250 all suffer from that. Either extreme heat or extreme cold. Because we're the only cells that get hit on two sides of the wall. and especially on this long side. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I was in the cell 101, right? In the wintertime, it was cold as hell. And for whatever reason, the hot water in my sink, it didn't work at all. I had no hot water. So every morning I just had to get up and boil hot water or warm up hot water in my hot pot so I could use it to brush my teeth. But then after a while, like some mornings, I got tired of just sitting there waiting for the water to get hot, right? So I just started using the cold water, like beast moding it, like it was like just and warm it up my mouth and then use it to brush my teeth. You know what I'm saying? Just and then after a while, I just got used to it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like whatever, you know. So I'll be in my car brushing my teeth with cold water. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Spit that shit right out the window. LOL, I should be asleep. I have work tomorrow. Good night, Nikki. Chef Andrew. Yeah. Nikki said, LOL, I'm too paranoid. I'm thinking of all the bugs that we be sneaking in. LOL, right? Melissa says, have you ever said where you came up with Sosa's name? So, my old coworker, the one that I got Sosa from, her name was Sophie, right? And through Sophie, I met her friend Sarah. And they both became like real close friends of mine since I've been up here, right? So I took Sophie's first two letters out of Sophie's name, S-O, and the first two letters out of Sarah's name, S-A, and it spells Sosa. You get what I'm saying? And I also got Sosa from Sophie. Oh, that's it in the chat. But yeah. But also, like, there's also a rapper named Chief Sosa, Keith the Chief, and it means like the general. You feel me? So neat. Love that. Yeah. And his name is dope. And then when Howard Sosa, he's chilling. He outside right now. And then when I come up with my own merch line, I'm gonna name it Sosa. Yeah. Or no, King Chief Sosa. That's what I'm gonna name it. King Chief Sosa. KCS for short. Like what? And I want to get like a Sosa logo. You know what I'm saying? Something that will symbolize Sosa and make sure that it's on every single shirt. You feel me? Somewhere on every single shirt. That would be the signature. That you got a fucking bonafide. Woo! I got a boat. You're looking out, dog. Thank you for the sell away. That you got a bonafide official King Chief Sosa shirt. Feel me? Hi, R2D2 said, you feel me? Hey, so, let me see. When I was 20 years old, right, I went to a prison called Folsom in Sacramento. Thank you, Don, for the TGIF. I appreciate you. And did you ever watch the movie like American Me? That's Old Folsom, right? It's built back in the 1800s with big old blocks of granite, and it's like the cells are jail bars, and the cells were originally meant for only one. They were originally meant for only one person. They were one-man cells, but then because of overcrowding, they put another bunk in there and put two men that were in a cell that was only meant for one person. And you could basically stretch your arms out, and you could touch the walls without even fully extending your arms. You could touch both walls. I swear to you, that's how small the cell is, right? But I was I remember when I got there, when you come to R&R, like each trip out, because the whole fucking prison is made out of granite blocks. They said like Chinese slaves and prisoners and stuff cut those blocks up back in the 1800s to build this prison. It looks like an old ass castle from the outside. You feel me? Some big. Woo, what the hell going on here? Thank you, Don, for that beach coral scene. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, um, so I remember when we rolled up in there, right? I was 20 years old. You know, I've been down since I was 17, right? I was getting up there because I was messing up at the other prison I was at. And I remember when we rolled up there, I was kind of like full of anxiety. Like, damn, this is one of those old school prisons that you see in the movies and stuff like that. Like, and then when you roll up there and you look at this damn prison from the outside, it look like a medieval castle. You just like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just a real life penitentiary type shit, right? And then anyways, what I'm trying to get at though is, one, I remember when I went to R&R, like it's called receiving and release. That's when you first come in, you gotta go there and they take all your information and make sure that you're there, your property, whatever. You get there and you get to see the nurse or whatever, right? And after that, from there, they send you to the unit, whatever building that you're going to. So I got done getting processed and everything. They told all of us to come out of R&R, and when you step out of R&R, you step right into 2 block in Old Folsom. And it's five tiers high, and there's jail bars, black jail bars, and there's 32 cells on each tier, right? And you come out of R&R and you walk up these steps, and when you walk up these steps, you're on the first tier in 2 block in Old Folsom. And I remember I walked up those steps and I looked up, and that shit was 5 tiers high. That shit took my breath away. I was just like, I felt like I was standing underneath a skyscraper inside of a prison. It was weird, right? And all along the tiers, there's a gang of motherfuckers just posted up right there, all tagged down with their shirts off, looking all crazy, just mad dogging you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 5 tiers of eyes looking at you. Motherfuckers from behind the bars, motherfuckers on the tier. It's just like, it was like, it took my breath away. I was just like, damn, this shit look crazy, right? But I ended up going to this building called 3 block, right? In Old Folsom, there's 5 buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So I went to 3 block, and what I'm trying to get at is this. I remember when I walked into 3 block, they had a bulletin board on the first tier. I was standing there waiting for the police to tell me what cell I was gonna go to. And they had a bulletin board on the first tier on the wall. And I was just sitting there like looking at the bulletin board, reading it, because I was waiting for the police to tell me what cell I was supposed to go to. And there was a gang of us that just pulled up. And I read this one sign that says, lost cat, black and white, right? And it said, we'll give huge reward if found. Go to cell 124, right? And I was like, what the fuck? What the hell am I reading, right? So I said, does this shit really say a lost cat? Because the prison I just came from Donovan, right? No one had no cats there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this paper on the bulletin board. There's all kind of notes on the bulletin board, right? People offering ironing services. There's church services. There's NA groups, and you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of stuff, right? Football pools, all kind of stuff, right? So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, does this shit really say a lost cat, right? Or this shit, like, am I being punked? Like, this shit just like a prank, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that shit was real, because after I got to the tier and I settled down into the prison a little bit, all of a sudden I started seeing cats walking by on the tier, shit. And then I asked my cellmate, like, what the fuck is that about? My cellmate's like, yeah, there's cats. Like, fools keep cats in their cells. And then the cats have babies, and then they sell the kittens. And then fools buy the kittens and raise the cats. And then they have kittens and they keep, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, is that right? And then there was like always just like cats that used to come in our cell, and we used to feed them and shit. We had like certain cats that we liked and shit. So the ones that we didn't really like, we give them the lunch meat from the state lunch, from the prison lunch. We're like, here, take this lunch meat. But most of them don't even eat the lunch meat. They're like, yeah, no, I'm good. Only if they're like hungry, they eat it. You know what I'm saying? And the cats that we like, we bust out the tuna for them. Like, here you go some tuna, partner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That shit was fun though. That shit was dope. Um, like doing time and having like animals around to just entertain you or take your mind off the time. But at the same time, they say animals have like soothing effects or capabilities on people. You feel me? I think that shit is real too. Like they say cats. They say cats they be like purring and shit. That shit relaxes you. And I ain't gonna lie. When Sosa comes and jump on my chest and he be sitting there doing his little purring, I'll lay there and I'll get into it cause I know that he's trying to help me. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to help relax me, right? So instead of like fighting it, I'll close my eyes and I start meditating on my breath, and I'll be like listening to his purr, and I'll be chilling. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm bullshitting. I think I'm bullshitting. You guys gotta give it a try. You can't just be like, look. You can't just be like, oh, my cat came and purred at me, and now I'm just gonna relax. Nah, you gotta meet your cat halfway too. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You gotta like get in the mode too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like relax and chill and open that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't just fucking sit there and be like, okay, now he's purring. I'm just gonna relax. Yeah. I love when he's on head on my pillow. Don said cats know he's stressed. Yeah, they sure do. Sosa knows. Sosa be knowing. You feel me? Cats are so awesome. BG said, I love hearing the crickets in the background. I might miss that when you start traveling. Shit. Where I go, they might have freaking grasshoppers, locusts, fireflies, mosquitoes, beetles, all that. You know what I'm saying? Don't even trip. You never know. Shit. I always dreamed about going to Alaska. You feel me? So I'm head up there one day too, probably on my way back when I go through the whole US. Pew! And go right shoot through Oregon, go up to Washington, go to Alaska, and come back down. I'll be like the full circle trip or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he said, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Sound like a freaking hawk or something. Say, ah! There not be no hawk messing with young Sosa. It sound like, you know, like when an eagle screeches when it goes and it... No, does an eagle screech when it attacks its prey? Or does it screech when it fights another eagle? You know, when I was a kid, right? My pops, he was a crackhead, you feel me? And when I was hella young, like 6, 7 years old, one night he came into my room and he woke me up, right? And he put an ashtray on the bed and he lit a cigarette and he just started telling me these crazy ass stories from the Vietnam War and stuff, right? Half of it I did not understand. I was only like 6, 7 years old. I had no idea what the hell he was talking about, right? It was just crazy stuff, right? But then there was this one story he told me. He told me how he was in prison over there, or how he was like locked up in some place that was real crazy, right? He said this place was like only the strong survive type prison, right? And he said when you come into that prison, all the elders tell you, they tell you you're like a baby bird. You're saying when you come into this prison, you're like a baby bird with no feathers, defenseless, lost, vulnerable as hell. You're saying you're against all odds, and the odds that you make it is very slim, right? But if you happen to be that one rare bird to make it and grow your feathers and build up your strength and flap your wings, you become an eagle, a bona fide certified eagle, and you fly up out of here, right? And on my dad's chest, he has an eagle tatted on his chest, and he was sitting there smoking a cigarette, telling me a story. And he said, "You see this eagle? He said, every time you see someone with an eagle on them, you better give them their respect because they had to earn that. And I was just like laying there like, the hell you talking about, dude? Can I go back to sleep now? You're like, bro, you tripping, right? But then I learned later on, when I got older as an adult, I learned that my dad uh, was basically a POW, or basically after the fall of Saigon, he was a soldier in the South Vietnamese army, and he ended up captured by the North, and he was put in a prison camp for 3 years where he was tortured. You know what I'm saying? And treated like basically like the enemy of the state because he helped go against his own country. He helped the U.S. fight against his own people. You feel what I'm saying? So now he was in the hands of his enemies who looked at him as a traitor, as a buster. You feel me? And so they mistreated him and tortured him and tried to indoctrinate him for 3 years. So now that story makes sense. I get it now. Like, okay, only a few survive that and make it out. But the ones that do, they get to call themselves the eagle. So are you an eagle? Or are you a seagull? Are you a French fry snatching seagull? Uh, uh, I remember when I was in the man, them seagulls ain't no joke. I remember when I was in the pen, right? They had seagulls on the yard. Them motherfucking seagulls are turned up. I don't know if they're more turned up in prison or what, but the prison seagulls, woo, they seem like they're bigger too. Unless it's been like a long time since I seen some seagulls or something. But the seagulls in prison, them motherfuckers are huge, right? Them motherfuckers look like little baby dinosaurs, bro. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are huge, bro. Right? And our sack lunches, cause the way they do it in prison, right? In order to get your lunch, you gotta go to breakfast. Cause you go to breakfast, they give you your breakfast tray, your hot tray. Sit down, you eat your breakfast, and then when you leave the chow hall, they give you your cold lunch in a sack, in a paper bag, and then you grab that and jet out, right? And then the next time you come back for a hot dinner, 2 hots and a cold, right? That's what you got coming in California prison, right? So every morning, when you get done eating your breakfast, you walk out the chow hall, you get your sack lunch, and you mob on home. But motherfuckers be looking in the sack lunch, and they like damn near like out of 7 days a week, like at least 5 of those days, we're getting lunch meat. Like it's like bologna, right? Two slices of bologna, and it'd be like vacuum sealed inside of some plastic, right? And gang motherfuckers don't eat that shit. That shit nasty, right? So the seagulls, there'd be a gang of seagulls and a gang of pigeons. And when you come out the chow hall, they be right there in the yard, deep as fuck. They be tripping, right? They're like, y'all motherfuckers better feed us, or we're just gonna fly up in the air and shit on you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's how they be, and they do too. They'll shit on you, right? So, look, this how crazy them seagulls are, bro. I'm not bullshitting. Motherfuckers will throw a packet of the 2 slices of bologna, like a frisbee, out into the yard with the plastic and everything still on it, right? And motherfucking seagulls will fight for that shit, and the motherfuckers will swallow the whole shit with the plastic still on it. Yeah. Those motherfucking penitentiary seagulls are a different breed. I'm saying, I'm telling you, motherfuckers are a different breed. Man, you gotta see it to believe it, man. I'm telling you. Hey, I remember one time when I was young, right? I went with some chicks and a couple of homies and shit to the beach and shit, right? And you know, I was trying to like be hella suave and act like I was hella cool around these bitches, right? You know. So, anyways, at this beach, they had like these gray boulder like rocks and shit, like sharp rocks. They're not round, but like jagged, weird shaped boulder beach rocks, right? And you can walk down and go towards the water. You feel me? So I was hella blitzed, drunk, and zooted, right? And you know, I was hee 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 and ha ha with these chicks. You feel me? so 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 I was walking down these big ass beach rocks towards the water because it's like an embankment, right? And I wasn't paying attention. I was looking over there and I was talking to these chicks, right? And and tell me why I looked to my left and there was this fucking big ass gray pelican, right? I don't know if that fool had his head and his wing or what, but all I saw was gray, and I thought it was a big ass rock. So I tried to put my hand on it. I was like, oh shit. So you gotta understand. I'm not trying to be Mr. Rico Suave with these chicks, right? I'm like, we trying to be all suave and all smooth and shit. And I'm talking, and I look over, and like, I guess because I'm looking at this motherfucker from my peripheral vision, I thought it was just a big ass rock. So I put my hand on this motherfucker to like get balance to walk down to the next rock, and all of a sudden this motherfucker woke up on me and said, Rah! I fucking flipped down the rock, poop, 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 poop. Fell all in the water. My whole head dunked in the water. I was upside down. I was fucked up, right? I was like gulping water and shit. I came out that shit. Water was all in my nose. The pelican was still right there tripping. Wah, wah. I said, what the fuck? It was like a fucking rock. It was like a rock just came alive, like you were in a cartoon or a Harry Potter movie or some shit. That shit freaked me the fuck out, right? so so yeah, you know your boy didn't get none that night. It was all bad. There was no coming back from that. You feel me? You feel me? I'll never forget that shit though. Cause now I swear to God, right hand to God, every time I go to the beach where they got those boulders and shit, I always make sure that everywhere I step is not a pelican. You know what I'm saying? I always make sure everything I touch, everywhere I step, is not a damn animal. You know what I'm saying? That could come alive on me. Woo, I love that shit. Ooh, you don't understand how that shit feels unless it actually happened to you. Like, you go and put your hand on something fully believing that this shit is a rock. You know what I'm saying? That this shit is a gray rock and you grabbing this shit to balance so you can take another step down off these beach boulders. And all of a sudden this shit that you thought was a gray rock ain't hard but hella soft. It has a weird ass feeling. That motherfucker wakes up on you and says, he got a big ass mouth. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That shit. Feel me? Woo. Can you imagine that shit? Wow. Man. What's up with y'all? I see a gang of laughing faces in his eye. You always say that. You feel me? Where did you get that? I say hella a lot, but don't know. I don't know where I say you feel me. I just say it. Daddy said you be making me laugh every time I watch your lives. Thank you, Daddy. That's what's up. Nulaba, you are so cute. Thank you, Nulaba. You ever see the Pisces eat the pigeons on the yard? Yup. I ain't gonna lie, man. I seen some homies do it too. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell that story though. That'd be too graphic. They'll banana my ass quick. You feel me? You feel me? Hey, let me tell you this another crazy story. So this is like 19. I think it's about like 1999 or 2000, right? I know this is around the time Eminem first burst on the scene. So whatever year that was, right? That Slim Shady, 117 baby, with the windows on, the tech goes up to the mid 80s, calling in that one, that the original Slim, right? So look, I was in the California Youth Authority. I was in YA. Those of y'all that ain't from California, quick rundown about the California Youth Authority. It's basically a juvenile prison that houses juveniles and adults up to the age of 25. Those that have been sentenced as juvenile lifers, what they call back in the days is a juvenile lifer law. You could be held in prison or in the California Youth Authority until the age of 25. And the California Youth Authority, basically in the juvenile system, was the worst and the highest you could go in the juvenile system. After that, it was adult prison. You know what I'm saying? And the California Youth Authority was full of so much corruption. There were so many killings, so many beatings, so many rapes, so many people unaliving themselves, so many corruption, assaults, like all kind of, and the list goes on and 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 on, right? And then to the point where they finally shut down the California Youth Authority. That's how bad it was. They stepped in and shut the California Youth Authority down. Now I think they still use it for like girl jails or girl prisons or girl camps or something like that. But as far as like the California Youth Authority back in the days, that was gladiator school for the youth, for the youngsters. And as a gangster, like, you wanted to be able to say that you went to the California Youth Authority, to keep it real, because you wanted to get that notch under your belt. Because those who went to California Youth Authority and made it out were considered like warriors, survivors, because no one could ever step foot in the California Youth Authority and not go through some kind of issue, some kind of drama, some kind of fight, some kind of riot, some kind of crazy, terrifying situations. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It's a war zone where like dog eat dog, and kids, like Lord of the Flies, like kids just going crazy, coming up with different rules, different gangs, like, and they just can't be controlled. The staff can't even control them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the real life Wild Wild West. And honestly, to keep it 1,000, to keep it motherfucking banned, the California Youth Authority was more crazier than the adult prison system. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. CYA, the California Youth Authority, the Y, or YA for short, is crazier and more violent than the adult prison system. Straight up. Because the kids are crazy, but they're trying to emulate the adults in the adult prison system. But they're going on their own mind, thinking that the adult prison system is extremely off the hook. So they feel that they have to be extremely off the hook to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Trying to emulate that penitentiary adult level in a juvenile prison. But anyway, I don't even know how I just went off that road, right? But what I'm trying to get at is, I was in a facility called Nellis that was in the city of Whittier in LA. And right there in Nellis, on the other side of the fence, outside the fence, the perimeter fence of the institution, there's condominiums, right? And then there's our yard. And one day I was on the yard, and we went out to the yard, and they had like 3, thank you, Don, for the lightning bolt, I appreciate you. They had like 3 pine trees that grew on our yard. And that's the one thing that I liked about the California Youth Authority. They actually had trees that grew on the yard, where in adult prison, there's no trees on the yard at all. Sid, thank you for the rose, I appreciate you. But anyways, so we went outside to the yard, and I looked at one of the big ass pine trees, and on the side of that tree was a freaking parakeet. That fool was just grabbing the side of the tree like this, right? Hey, take it for the superpower, dog. That fool was just grabbing the side of the tree like this, and it was like neon green and yellow and had a little bit of red, right? And I said, what the hell is that? I said, is that what I think it is? Because I could see what it, I said, but I'm like, is that shit real or is that shit a toy, right? Because, you know what I mean? So I hurried up and walked over there. And I walked over there, I seen that it was real. It was a real parakeet. So I just grabbed it. And when I grabbed it, It didn't even trip on me because I guess it was somebody's pet, so it used to being held. I kind of like, I kind of really got like a feel for the fact that it was somebody's pet because they let me walk up on it like they did. You feel what I'm saying? So, and I had parakeets when I was young too, so I can kind of have a feel for animals. I understand animals more better than I understand human beings. So, anyways, I grabbed the parakeet and boom, he became my little buddy, right? And I named him. I ended up naming him Slim Shady because that's when Eminem just came out, right? So that was when Eminem was really popping at that time. So I named him Slim Shady. And so look, in my building, my cottage, I was in Hayes Cottage at this time in Nellis. And then in the cottage, like there's dorm living, and then there's like 12 cells, right? And some of the cells are double man cells, and some of the cells are single cells, and then the rest is dorm. And I say altogether in the whole building, there's like 50 dudes or more, about like 75 or less, right? I can't remember, but I was in a cell. And I had a cellie, right? And me and my cellie, we had like on in the wall is a light, and I'll tell you guys another story about this later, but me and my son, we kind of like figured how to, we start yanking on this light one day. Well, it's basically a square in the wall, and there's a light in the wall with plexiglass over the front, right? And one light, and it right in the middle is separate. There's like a metal shit in the middle that separates both of them, like two boxes. And one has a bright ass light, and one has a low light. And in the daytime, the low light turns off, and the bright ass light turns on. And then at nighttime, the low light turns on. You feel what I'm saying? But this box is in the wall, and in front of it is plexiglass that's screwed into the wall. So one day, me and my cellie was just fucking with this. Oh no, we had the parakeet, right? And so we kept them in the shoebox in my cell, and we like whenever we leave the cell, we put them in the shoebox, and we like just hope the staff don't find them at first, right? But we like, damn man, we can't just keep on doing this because they're gonna eventually find this food, right? So we started looking around the cell, like where can we hide them? And we had to consider the fact that this food got to breathe, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's gonna probably be making noise and shit. What's up, pimp? Oh boy, back from running the streets. It's 9:13 that night. Boy, I tell you something about these kids these days. So, anyways, my cellie started messing around with the plexiglass that was screwed into the wall over the light, right? And he ended up yanking on it, and he was getting it loose because basically the screws, he was grinding the screws inside of the cement of the wall, and it was loosening up. So his hands hurt. He's like, hey man, come here, try this shit, it's your turn. So I said, what you doing? He said, just keep on yanking on it. It's gonna loosen up the screws little by little. So I go up there, yank on it, I put my feet on the wall. I get it out pretty good too. Now we switch turns because this shit's not as easy. It takes time, right? So we keep on doing it. We finally yank that bitch out. Bam! Right? So now inside the wall is this light box. And we thinking we could just push this light box out the way, and behind that would be an attic or some shit, and we just go hide our parakeet in there, right? But this light box was also bolted. It had like screws going all around it. So it was bolted to something too, right? So what we do? Shit, we did the same shit, but this time we took the light bulbs out and we start kicking that shit. Boom, boom, boom. And then here we go, kick it, boom, boom, boom. And the boxes start jerking in the cement. It was actually bolted to cement. It started jerking and getting loose, and we were able to shake the screws out, right? And we were able to move the whole light into the attic. And we could crawl in there and basically crawl throughout the ceiling of the building. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's where we ended up taking our parakeet. We put them in a box and we put them up there and put the light back and put everything back to normal. Every time we used to leave the cell. And we had him for like 6 months like that. And every time we come home, we take him out. He be chilling. He be running around doing his thing. We put strings up around the cell. He be climbing on strings. He be swinging. You know what I'm saying? Getting his scrub on, whatever. And then every time we leave the cell, we just tuck him away. And finally one day, not the regular staff, but the staff that they call the gooners, like the SWAT team, they came through, and when they come through and they search, they don't play around when they search. Them fools, like they go through everything. You know what I'm saying? They really search. Like the COs that work in the building, they search too. But the reason why they don't do so much of a good job when they search is because that gotta get back to watching everybody in the building. You feel me? And so they kind of do it in a rush, you know. But the gooners, oh, they don't miss nothing. They got like over tooth and nail magnifying glass on your ass type of search, right? And then one day I was at school, and they searched, and they hit my cell and they found him. They found my Slim Shady, and they took him away. But the good thing about it is, they had this thing in Nellis, the YA that I was at. They had this thing where we were fighting so much. The kids there fought every single day, every second of the day, every minute of the day, just alarms going off throughout the whole entire day, nonstop. I don't care what time of day it was going off, because dudes is really, you know what I'm saying, getting it in, gang banging and tripping and putting each other on different color lights, red light, green light, blue light, black light, white light, this light, that light, every light, you know what I'm saying? And they're just tripping, like youngsters going crazy, right? And so it was always cracking, you feel what I'm saying? So what they established, or what they started doing, was they started having this thing called the grandparents come and eat lunch with us every day at lunchtime, because every day, each building, we eat lunch at the same time. We got to go back to school in the afternoon. We go to school in the morning, go back to the building, eat lunch, and then go back to school in the afternoon, right? And then come home. Now go back to the building. But so they started doing this every day. When we had lunch, they started letting all these senior citizens come in, like super duper triple quadruple OGs, you feel me, from the retirement homes, come in and they flood, like they come in on a shuttle bus, and they drop them off on every single building, and there's like 15 buildings, and they drop a group of them off, and they're regulars too. They drop regulars off to the same buildings. Like if you go to the certain building, you go to that same building every single time, right? So the shuttle bus will come through and drop all these grandparents off at lunchtime to all these buildings, and each building will get like 8 to 10 grandparents in a day room, right? And the thing is, they'll come in there, they'll eat lunch with us and chill with us and play dominoes and spades with us and chop it up with us. One of them, he played the saxophone. He brings a saxophone, plays the saxophone. There's like an OG grandma, because they're not allowed to bring us stuff, right? But there's this OG grandma that used to always bring us jalapeno peppers, because they weren't tripping on jalapeno peppers, because we used to eat it with our sandwiches for lunch. But the thing is, they started that program because we were fighting so much, but they knew that if they had grandparents there, OGs, triple OGs, we would all kick back and not fight at lunchtime. So that's like the only time in the day that the staff really get a break from all the fights and all the headaches, and they can eat their lunch too and stuff like that, because like we all knew, like, yeah, we savages and this and that, but we're not going to be disrespecting the OGs like that. You feel me? We still got our manners. You feel me? So what I'm trying to say is, so when the Goon Squad found my parakeet Slim Shady, they ended up giving him to one of the grandmas that always comes to my cottage, because we get the same grandparents every day. And I used to call her Abuelita. That's back then, I didn't even know Abuelita means grandma. I just thought that was her name, right? So I used to always call her Abuelita, right? I thought that was her name, right? But now I understand that's grandma. But anyways, when the Goon Squad found my parakeet, she saw, because she knew my parakeet. I should bring it out at lunchtime. I used to have it on my shoulder and all that shit, right? And she saw it. She said, "What happened?" And the Goon Squad said, "Yeah, we found this parakeet. We're taking it away." And she said, "What you guys gonna do with it?" And they're like, "We're gonna turn it into like a pet store, or the animal people or whatever." And she's like, "Could I have it?" And she's hella old. Like, I'm talking about old, like a turtle with no shell old. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine that, like a turtle that don't have no shell walking with a cane. You know what I'm saying? Old, right? So the Goon Squad dude's like, "Go ahead, you can have it. How can you say no to a triple OG, right? She a quadruple OG." So the Goon's like, "Go ahead, you can have it." They gave it to her because she knew that was my parakeet, and she couldn't give it back to me, but she took care of it for me. She told me, "Don't worry, mijo. It's living with me. It's good." Saying, he got a nice cage, everything. It's straight. I put the cage up by the window. He's chilling. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna finish these messages and I'm gonna bounce y'all. Okay, it's nice something. Walking on sunshine. Whenever your homie would be gone, you knew where he went. Right? And they said people didn't know how bad the prison system is until they are in it or their loved one is. Right? Lavender Flower says, were you always in a cell with someone? No. Hell nah. Sometimes I spent years by myself in the shoe. So sad. Lizzie said, this dude is the only live I watched. Yeah! Even the parakeet did time. Amanda said, I love your jailhouse stories. Thank you. Oh, little Slim Shady, right? Lizzie said, LOL, you got some great stories. Thank you, Gina. Thank God for the OGs. Yeah, respect the elders. Yeah. Lizzie said, oh, thank goodness. Little Slim Shady got her grandma. They had these girls laughing. Lizzie, boy, turtle with no shell. Oh my god, that's the first. That shit just came off the rip of my head. Thank you, Jody, for the heart, and I appreciate you. And I was sitting there trying to think of something that looks old, and I was thinking that what she looked like to me, that's how she looked like. And I was like, that's the only thing I could think of, like a turtle, an old ass turtle with no shell, walking with a cane with some glasses on. I'm saying, wearing old ass cardigan and like grandma silk grandma shirts and stuff. You feel me? And little ballerina type shoes. Daddy's girl said, how cute me, huh? Walking on sunshine. I love how you describe your stories. Thank you, Jody Pecco. Hi, thanks for the story time. You're welcome, Rebecca Lima. You have a blessed night, Danny. You too, Rebecca. Walking on sunshine. I can picture a turtle without a shell. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed this live. And I hope to see you guys back again next time when I double back. You feel me?